Hi everyone, this is Vishal Tiwari, and today we are going to see another great feature of quantum grid, that is nothing but cxGrid is a banded table view. And this feature we are going to see for both type of grids, that is one data aware control component and for non data aware control component. But before going to start this session, I would like to inform you that we have already taken two video seminars, one on Delphi connectivity with Firebird database, and following is the link for that, and another one overview of quantum grid, that is nothing but cxGrid. There we have already taken the overview of columns and what are the features and properties are available for the columns. Those we have taken there, and since we are going to work with column in this session also, but we are not going to focus once again on the column properties whatever we have seen in overview of quantum grid seminar. So today, uh, before we start, let's have a look on whatever the structure we are going to display in our grid. As you could see here, this is employee transaction details, and this is a main section, you could say. And under that main section, the employee details is another section is there, and after that official details and salary details. Under employee details, there are two columns you could see here. One is the employee code and another one is a employee name. In official details, as you could see here, one is a branch name. It's not a branch code we are displaying here, it's a branch name, division name, department name and designation name. And same as in the salary section, you could see the amount of basic as per each employee, DA, HRA and gross income. So let's see how we are going to take this data from our database. Just click on Flame Robin. As you see, this is a graphical representation of Flame Robin, which is used to connect with our Firebird database. Click here, and this is our database. Double click on that. Then as you could see here, transaction master table. Select, right click and select from that table. As you see, there are certain columns are available: employee code, branch code, division code, department code, designation code, basic, DA, HRA and gross income. Okay, so as we repeat once again with our structure, it's employee code and employee name. So as you could see, employee name we could take it from employee master, division name we could take it from division table, designation name, department name and branch name. This information we could take it from these respective tables. So let's create our SQL by which we could create the same structure as we have seen in Excel sheet. Select EMP code as employee code. As we have seen, the heading we need as it is for all the columns, so we would be taking, since there is a space between employee and code, so we need to use double quote, else we need not to use double quote. Then EMP name we are going to take from employee master table as employee space name. Then we need to have branch code, so we would be taking as a BRN name as branch, comma, division, so DIV name as division, comma, then we need department, so DEPT name as department, yes, and last designation, so DSG name as designation we could say. And the last four columns, one would be the basic, then DA, then HR, and final one is a gross income. Yeah, this we need to take it from table, from employee master, alias we would be giving em comma branch, alias we would be giving as brn, then division, and alias we would be giving div, sorry, then department we need to take, so department, so dept we would give alias name, and designation, alias we would be giving dsg. Now we need to join on transaction master, transmaster, alias we would be giving tm, and we are going to join on, so we need to write on tm dot emp code is equal to em dot emp code, and branch we have to take, so tm dot brn code is equal to brn dot brn code, and tm dot div code is equal to div dot div code, we have to write it down, and finally designation we have to write it down there, sorry, department we have to take, so tm dot dept code is equal to dept dot dept code, we have to take it. I think yes, everything is over, but as you could see here, there are records available for more than 1 year month, as you could see here, year month 2013 to 2013-03. So like these 100 records we have, but for our seminar we would be taking data only for 1 month, so we need to write a condition here where year month is equal to 2013-02. Since year month column is there only in transaction master, so no need to prefix with alias name, and execute this. Oh, it's saying select, so execute that. Oh, ambiguous column, as you could see here, we need to take it from transaction master table. Let's execute. Yeah, now as you could see here, we have sorry, I think we have missed out here designation, so tm dot dsg code is equal to dsg dot dsg code. I think we should get records for only 1 month. Just execute. Yeah, now we got record for only 1 month, and this SQL we have to keep it with us since we need to create a structure according to our Excel sheet. So for now we will begin. So click on the form and make the size as a single, border style as a single. What we would be doing, as we discussed, we would be discussing this grid, but parallelly we will see, because one feature whenever we are implementing, we'll see how we could implement the same feature in another grid. So side by side we'll implement. So since we need to have two grids, so we would be having two panels. Take panel 1 and go to align property, select top, so it would be going and sticking to top place. Just make it as lower. Yeah, and caption we will be changing like this, we will be removing like that. Increment the size, again take another panel, click here, and this time we would be making to the downside here, remove caption and make it to, click on the panel, press F11 key and just click on bottom. So here we will increase the size here, yeah, so there is a difference. Now we need to select both the grids, so for that we need to go for Dev Express palette. This is a grid, select and click on this form, and take another grid and select and click on another panel. As you could see here, this is a cxGrid 1 DB banded table view, but since we need to have banded table view, DB banded table view, so right click and delete on the view and just right click on the level and click on create view. As you could see, banded table and DB banded, so we need to have DB banded table view here, and just make align property of the grid as a client. Yeah, so it would capture entire space in the panel. But here, as you could see, this is also a DB table view. We will be right clicking, select on the grid, right click on that and click on delete view. Here we are not going to create view design time, the view also we are going to create dynamically. So that is a main feature. We will see how to create view dynamically, and remaining bands and columns also we are going to create dynamically. So click on the grid, press F11 key and just make it align property as a client. Yeah, so we will give some proper name to this grid. Click on the grid and press F11 key. We will be giving name as a GRD banded table. Yeah, it's only banded table, so let it be as it is. And before that we would do one more thing, since we need a button component for the banded table view. So come to this place, click on the grid and press F11. Time being just make none. We'll be taking another panel and click on this panel, so we would be getting place to keep button component. So click on the panel, remove the caption, set the property and make align property as bottom. Now take the button component and click in the panel anywhere, press F11 key, and anchors we will be setting left as false, top false, right true and bottom true. The benefit, as you could see here, the way we resize the form, button would also move as according to the form size. Now click on the grid, press F11 key and make it as a client. Align property, make it as a client. Now here we need to increase, so just once again make it none. Size we will be incrementing. Yeah, so there should not be any problem. Click on the grid and make it as a client once again. Okay, now step by step we are going to execute the steps for the DB banded table view, and same thing we are going to do for the banded table view parallelly. So since come back to our Excel sheet, here as you could see, this is a main band, this is another band which is under the main band, and this is also the same, these two bands also under the main band. Now what we need to do, we need to create these bands first. So this structure we will be creating, as you could see, this is a pyramid like structure as it is top, and then this is coming as a bottom side. So these are the sub bands, and sub bands contain their own respective columns. So first we would be creating bands. So come back to this place. Since this is a banded table view, DB banded table view, click on the customize button. Here you could see band section, column section and summary section. So come back to band section. Since by default there is a one band itself, so what we would be doing, we would be creating one band first, remaining bands. So 1 2 3, yeah, so total 4 bands are there. But as we know that this is a main band, under this band we need to have these 3 bands. So what we need to do, click on one band, press F11 key, and as you could see here, position property, band index we need to assign as a 0. As you could see, this band is moved under this main band. So select remaining 2 bands and assign band index property to 0. Yeah, as you could see here, our structure is ready. Now what we need to do, we need to provide the caption to them. So just copy and the caption, select particular band, select particular band, press F11 key. Here you could see the caption. Yeah, and the same caption we would be providing to remaining bands. Employee details, come to this place, enter official details, select that band and just provide the caption here. Select the last band, and this is the salary details. Apply to last band caption property. Yeah, now as you could see here, if you resize the band, yes, our structure is ready. Now same structure we are going to create for our banded table view. So before that, what we need to do is this on the button, what we will be doing, click here and just say display data. Yeah, and we will move this button to this side first. Display data. When we are clicking on this button, we will be writing our code. So we will be creating one variable of type where banded table view. So just give the name to our view. We are creating a view. Now grd banded table view, which should be of type tcx custom grid. Sorry, we need to write tcx custom grid. Sorry, it should be tcx custom grid view. Yeah, now what we need to do, we need to create this view first, and we will be putting proper comments for that. Yeah, so yeah, so we need to create a view. The view, as you could see here, this view is created in the grid, and in the grid the view is assigned to the level. Since we have grid and level already available, so we need to create a view inside the grid, and we need to assign respective level to that also. So just take a grid name, click on the grid anywhere, press F11 key, copy the name and click here. So here grid dot, this grid name dot create, press Ctrl space bar. So here create a view we have to write here. Yeah, create a view. And what type of view we are going to create, so we could say it's a tcx grid banded table view. Yeah, just try to compile. Yeah, so there is no issue in our code. Close this. Okay, now since we have created a view, sorry, we need to write a comment for that first. Take our code and put it here. We will be writing here creating view, sorry, banded table view. Okay, Now since view has been created, press F12 key. Now the time is to assign to the level. Click on the level and press F11 key. We need to copy the level name, as you could see, level 1. So level name dot grid view we have to assign, as you could see here. Yeah, just compile once again. Yes, not an issue. Since the view has been created, the next task is we need to create a bands. Now bands are already created in the banded table, db banded table view. Now we need to create here also. So let's go for that. Now we need to give proper comments here. Creating bands. But before that, press F12 key, and if you come here, these are the bands. So if you click on any other band and press F11 key, so as you could see here, position, there are two properties we have. One is a band index and another one is a column index. Since this is a sub band, you could say, because that we have assigned to another band. So this is a column number 0, as you could see, band is a 0, that is why column index value is 0. This is as a 1, official, as you could see, and salary, if you click, it's a 2. So same properties, these two properties we are going to assign dynamically for the banded table view. So bands we need to create here. So we will be writing with this view name as, we need to write it down here. Yeah, since we are creating with that, so do we need to write and say begin and end. Okay, so we need to write as bands dot add. We need to add a band. So this is nothing but this will be our first band, main band. So for that band we need to give caption. So once again we need to write it down as bands dot caption, sorry, the bands of 0, because since this is a band number 0, so we need to write down as a caption. Yeah, so the caption we have to give as employee transaction details. Yeah, okay, so let's create another bands, whatever the require bands we need. Bands dot add. Yeah, so this is a band number 1, and same again, two bands we would create here first. Here, as you could see here. Now we need to provide captions for all the bands as well. As you could see, this is a band number 1 here, and at the end this will be the band number 3, 2, and caption. Let's copy from our Excel here and put it to appropriate band. Now copy official details, assign to another band here, sorry, and for the last band, salary details. Yeah, now since just press F12 key, come to customization, press F11 key again, and as you could see, these two properties we have to assign, means, and the bands would be created, but we need to bring under the main band. So band index we have to assign as 0, and column index also we have to assign them. Close that. As we could see here, yeah, so properties we need to assign them. First property would be here band index, so we need to say as bands of 1 dot band index. Oops, sorry. I think position we need to type here, position dot control spacebar band index. So band index, as we know, it would be 0 always, but as press F12 key, as you could see, we could move the bands anywhere. Yeah, so what if somebody moves this band some other places, so the index would change, and we do not want the index should be kept constant here, means hard coded. So what we would be doing, bands of 0 as it is we are taking, since there is no name we could give here, so the bands of 0 dot control spacebar index. So whatever the current index is there, wherever the band is kept, that we would be assigning here. So just copy here, paste, and we could paste it here also. So just make it as a 2, make it as a 3. Yeah, and column index, as you could say, we need to keep it as it is. Yes, there we will give hard coded value. So column index by default we will be giving as a 0 here. Copy, and sorry, we could provide here as a 2. So column index has to change as 1, and band index here it is 3, so we need to provide as a here 2. So this band would appear as it is. And now press F12 key and go to customization. As you could see here, there is no data. Now we need to bring data here. So to bring the data, we, for the db banded table view, we need to have data source component. So copy this data source component, put it here, and since we are using Firebird database, so we need to have query component here first, and then one database connection component we need to have. So this is a IB connection component, we will be keeping as it is here. So yeah, so what we would bring, we will be closing this and disconnecting this, right click, connect as, so we get our database path. Copy this database path and click on the IB connection component, press F11 key, and we can assign to here database name property, press enter, and we need to assign certain properties. Username, it should be sysdba, and password should be master key, masterkey, master key, press enter, and password storage should be ps not secure. Now just make it connected is equal to true. Yeah, so our connection is active now. Double click on our database, and now you can right click on any table name like this and say select from. As you could see here, we are getting data enter for transaction master table. Just click on the go to previous statement, so we would be getting our previous statement as it is, and we should get 20 columns. Execute this. As you could see here, 20 columns. So copy this entire SQL as it is, and click on query component, press F11 key. So SQL property we have to assign with this SQL, control V and say OK. Now IB connection component we have to connect, yes, and finally just make active is equal to true. So this shows that the data has come to query component and no issues with our SQL. Now select data source component, press F11 key, dataset we have to assign with query component like this, and finally click on the view, press F11 key, go to data controller section, assign data source here. Yeah, as you could see here, the rows are created but the values are not there. So what we need to do is that main section, come to column section here, we need to create a columns. So how many columns are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So come here, click on customize. So 10 columns you have to create. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Yeah, now click on first column, press F11 key, and we need to assign the respective property. Come to data binding section, assign here field name. As you could see, employee code, space in between that. Click on another column, make it as a employee name. As you could see here, it is coming like this. So what we need to do is that first two columns would be under band number 1. So position property will be going here, and band index is the employee details. Now since this column you click here, and that column is also in employee details, so these are the 4 columns. So what we would be doing, these 4 columns we would be selecting and making their band index property as official, like this. Or before that, we'll do one thing, we'll first assign column name to every column first. This should be branch, then this should be division, then department and designation. This should be basic, then DA, second last is a HRA, and finally we need to add as a gross income. Now just see our columns, how they are displaying. Yeah, as you could see, all the columns are came under the band number 1 here, employee details. So it's a, what we need to do is that select branch, division, department and designation column, press F11 key. Here position we have to just change. In the position band index we have to just assign as a official details. Let's have a look. Yeah, here the branch, as you could see here, branch, division, department and designation. Now since these 4 columns are in employee details, so again for last 4 columns press F11 key, assign the last salary details, close and check it out now. Yeah, it's coming properly. So we need to assign here like this. So rearrange our column. As you could see here, the columns are created here and with their respective data. And now what we need to do, see here, it's a left alignment, heading is a left alignment. So once again select all the columns, press F11 key. As you could see here, header alignment horizontal property is a left, so make it as a center, close it. Yeah, as you could check it out here. Now same thing we need to apply in the banded table view. Click here. So we would be creating our query component dynamically. So what we would be doing, as you could see here, this our query component 1 is of type TIBU query. So dynamically we will create our second query component, say 2, and we need to copy and get the data using this query component. So once again we will be writing proper comments. Yeah, so here what we would be writing, fetching data from the database. Yeah, now create this query component, and the parent would be form itself. Write it down self. Yeah. Now just check it out, control F9. Yeah, there is no issue. Now what we need to do is that since the query name would be repeating while writing our SQL, so while writing with begin and end section, in that first we will be making query component as a active equal to false. As you could see here, it requires boolean value, so we will be making as a false here. Then assign connection component property. As you could see, IB connection is equal to our connection name we have to give. So select connection name component and get the name property. As you could see here, we are assigning the name. Now say SQL we need to clear. We here first. So SQL dot clear. Then we need to add our SQL. So SQL dot add. Since our SQL is too huge, so what we would be doing, we would be taking our SQL in one string variable. Say yes SQL string. We are prefixing yes because it is a string type of variable. So just say here string. We will be writing or we could take it here. We would be initializing here empty string. This is a Delphi's default value, and we need to copy our SQL and assign to this string variable. Just copy as it is and paste here. So just as you could see, we are not going semicolon here, since we would be liking to make it as only one statement, as you could see here. So plus is a character for concatenating the string from. We are giving like that because our SQL should be in readable format. So what we are going to do here is that division, and at the end we are putting like this. So the code has to taken at the end. Yeah, as you could see here, this is not part of string, so just put it as a part of string. And since we are starting our string here, we need to close here. And since SQL is completing there, so we are putting a semicolon at the end. Now just assign our SQL to the add property here, and finally say active is equal to true. Instead of active you could write open also, and but normally we prefer that active only. So active is equal to true. Before active equal to true, we would be writing prepared, prepared is equal to true. So it would prepare our SQL execution plan first, and then it will execute. So SQL execution would become faster. Yeah, compile our code. Yeah, it's compiling. Now we got the data. Now we need to create a columns, and we need to fill these values to the respective column. So what we would be doing here is that let it be as it is here. Okay, so we need to create columns. So here we will be writing proper comments, creating columns, and assigning to respective bands. Yeah, so to create a column, we could get number of columns from query component number 2. So for that, since we need to use loop, so we should have one variable I column count. It should be of type integer. Since its type is integer, we prefixed this column name with I. So just write it down here. For I column count is equal to, as we know, column index starts with 0. So 0 to our query name dot field count. We need to write here -1 do, because it's starting with 0. Yeah, just compile our code. Sorry, compiling. Now we need to create a column, so control space bar you have to say. Since we are writing our code in view section, sorry, we have come out of this view section, we need to execute our code within a view only, because then else again we need to utilize this name all the time. So what we would be doing, we would be including this code in our view section only, like this, and just select entire code once again and hold control shift key and press I, so it would go to this way. Yeah, so now we are in part of view only. So to avoid repetition of view name, we are including in the view section only. Sorry, and at the end here. Yeah, just now create columns, so control spacebar you have to say. So as you could see here, column we are creating. Since the column is created, we need to assign then and there it to the respective bands. So the column number 0 and 1 should come under the band number 1. So what we would be writing, if the column count is greater than or equal to 0 and column count is less than or equal to 1, then begin end. We just press F12 and go to the column, select any column, press F11 key. As you could see how we could assign the column name dot position dot band index, we have to assign here. So press F12 key. So what we need to do here, so respective column we have to take here. As you could see, control spacebar, columns, and index we could get it from this variable name. Whatever the current column is there, dot position dot band index, as you could see. So we need to assign to a bands of, as you could see, 1 has to come, dot its respective index. Yeah, as you could see here, we need to assign. Okay, we will be writing else part here, else we will be copying as it is. Now from column number 2 it starts basic, sorry, branch, then division, department and designation. So it comes from 2 to 5. What we would be doing, if it is from 2 to 5, it should be under official details. So columns dot position dot current column, it should be in official detail band. And after that, right now we know that last 4 columns are basic, DA, HRA and gross income. So tomorrow any other column should come there. So we don't know how many columns would be, but these columns would be fixed. Employee code, branch, and these official detail and employee details would be fixed. Salary detail would not be fixed. So what we would be doing, else salary detail is not fixed, so else begin and end part. So whatever the columns we are creating, those columns we need to assign to last, that is a salary details band. Yes, so here we have assigned those things. Since you know that columns position, press F12 key, go to respective column, any column, and as you could see here, the header alignment horizontal, it's a TA center. So same property we need to assign for all the columns. Since column is created here itself, copy our value. So whatever the current column is there, control spacebar dot header alignment horizontal is equal to this value we have to assign. Let's compile our code. Yeah, it's compiling now. Now since the columns are created and assigned to respective bands, now we need to fill the value in those columns. So just come here and we need to write respective comments there also, as would be writing here, filling data into the grid as banded table view. Yeah, so for that I think we need to have two loops, one for creating rows and another for filling the values. Since we have variable for column, create for row also, row count. Yeah, so first one it would be for this I row count is equal to 0 to get our query component dot record count. All you have to remove -1 since it's starting with 0. Yeah, now what we would be doing, sometimes our record pointer of query it goes to some other places, so by default we would be pointing it to the first record, so there would not be an issue. And then query dot next, sometimes this statement is missed out. Normally now what we would be doing, there are two ways to create a rows in the view. Once you could say, one way is that, as you could see here, control spacebar, data controller dot append record. So one record you append, and for this respective record you fill the value in all the columns for that record. Okay, but we would be commenting this, and another way is that, so in one statement only we could create all required columns. Data controller dot record count, yeah, is equal to how many records counts are there in our query component. We have to just assign here, so all the rows would be created. Now why this is important, because if tomorrow we have to fill up thousands of records or lakhs of records, so if 1 lakh record we have to fill up 1 lakh time, this statement execution we could avoid it. Okay, now we need to fill the value into the columns, so take another loop for this column count. We have to copy as it is. Yeah, begin, end section. Now since the column is already created, now we need to just fill the data. What we would be writing, control spacebar, data controller dot values. So first record index means row index would come, and then item index would come into the picture. So the row index we would be taking from, and as you could see it is a square bracket, and it accepts the value as you could see at the end, variant. So just press enter key and add row index. After that column index is equal to we need to get the data for particular column dot fields. I'm spacing escape key here, and current column index we could get it from this variable dot value, and the return type is also variant as you could see here. So we are just assigning value to that column, and just compile our code. Yeah, just try to see. Yes, since as you could see here the values are filled up. Now we would try to display our data here. Yeah, as you could see, transaction details, employee details, official detail and salary detail, but the captions are not coming here. And if you notice, the execution speed is a little bit slow. Once again we'll see, running our application, click on display data button, as you could see, it's taking time. So what we would be doing, when we are filling the value to the grid, what we could do there is that we could add try and finally block. Control Shift and I key you have to press. At the end you have to write finally, and then say enter. And sorry, now here what we could do here is that to speed up our data filling operation, control space, just say data controller dot begin full update, and at the end in the finally section we have to copy and make it as a end full update. Control space. Now why we need to write in the try finally block? Because when this statement is executed, say for example begin full update, and there is a issue in our code and we are not executing this statement because of some any reason, so what would happen, our grid would not behave properly. Either you would not be able to write our code in the grid, or some other strange behavior good will perform. So to make sure that even though there is an issue in our code, if suppose, but these two statement has to be executed. If this statement is executing, then this statement has to be executed, and if this statement has not been written and if you are executing this also, then also you would get strange behavior. So kindly make note of this. These two statements are used to improve the data filling speed in the grid. Just to have note of this. Now once we have done this, since we are creating a column here itself, so while creating a column we would be assigning caption to the respective column dot, as you could see here, sorry, caption, and get the column name from query component dot fields. So pressing escape key, whatever the column name is there, so index would come like this dot, we need to write as a display name, so it would assign. Now just run our application. Now you could see here the speed up of data filling. Yeah, it's came here, and as you could see here the columns employee code, employee name, and since these columns is not arranged properly, means width is not proper, they are directly stick to each other here, so we need to go and then again rearrange the column. So here what we could do to display proper width for every column, at the end we would be making sure writing one thing. So we would be writing here as applying properties to the banded table view. So all required properties will be applying here. So just we need to write here apply base fit. But the issue with the apply base fit is that, just come here, press F12 key. When you are saying apply base fit, it is trying to get the maximum length and of the string, so it would check for all the records and check the maximum length, and as per that it would try to arrange the column width. So that is the reason, even though your data filling is having great speed, but the apply base fit would reduce your display data in the grid. Run. Now even though you see it would take a little bit more time now. Yeah, as you could see here, now we need not to rearrange our columns like this. Yeah, now you could see here these values are coming to the left hand side and these are coming to the right hand side. Since this is DB aware control component and this is non DB aware control component, we need to make properties for this also. For that we need to have one column. That column we need to take it from express utilities. Column name is edit repository. Put it on anywhere on the form, double click on that form, say add. As you could see here, different types types of component you could create here. As you could see, checkbox, calculate edit, and hyperlink, combo box, currency edit. So on this we would be taking separate session, but for time being right now we would be concentrating on currency edit. What would happen, whatever the component you are creating here, that you could assign to a respective column. So even though you said here checkbox and you are assigning to this column, so all the columns would be having checkbox facility. You could not type anywhere. Right now we need to have currency edit. In the next session we will be taking detail on this cxEdit repository issue. Name we could give it as a EDT currency. Enter. And two properties we have to assign. Decimal places is true here. Alignment we have to give it as a horizontal alignment, we are giving as a right justify. And display format we would be giving 0.00 semicolon minus 0.00. Press enter. Yeah, now this name we have to copy, and since this is a edit repository item, we need to assign to our columns, whatever the columns we have created, and we need to assign for the last 4 columns only. So just see wherever our last 4 columns, yeah, here only. So just assign here, this is the value for that. Select this column and say here sorry, repository item, and just assign this repository item to that. Now press F9 key and run. As you could see here, it's coming to the left hand side, yes, and 2 decimals places here. Now what we would be doing here, last 2 things we need to do. One is that we need to create a summary here, and this grid we need to export. But before that, what we would be doing, as you could see here, we will select both the grids, press F11 key. Now here we have not selected view, only grid we have selected. As you could see here, look and fill. So we'll just see how it looks. When it is ultra flat, it looks like this. When you say flat, it displays like that. When you say office, it's awesome look. And then if you say standard, it comes like this. But if you say true, what would happen? Even though you change the kind value, it doesn't affect. So just say here office and say false. Let it be as it is. Since we have already seen the values of columns in our previous section, that is in overview of quantum grid, that is cxGrid, and this is the link for that. Kindly visit this link to get entire overview idea of the quantum grid, that is the column properties. And now what we would be doing, we need to create a summary for that. So just click here, and summary we have to create for some other columns. So first, employee details. In employee code we need to create a summary. As you could see here, summary section, and footer kind right now it is none, so just make it as a count. So it would just create, since summary is not displaying here. So what we need to do, as we know, click on the view button, section, press F11 key, and in options view you could see footer properties false, just make it true. As you could see here, it's a 20, but since it is going to the left hand side, we have to just make sure that click on the band, and footer alignment you have to just say here right justify, close. Yeah, it has come now. Now what we would be doing, we would be doing for all other last 4 columns. Select column, press F11 key. Summary will be making as a footer kind, will be making as a summation, and since it is coming as a dollar here, footer format will be giving as a 0.00 semicolon minus 0.00. Press enter key here, and yeah, now the same thing we need to apply for banded table view. So just close this. Now since we are creating a count for column number 1, that is the employee code, so we would be checking here like that. If the column count is equal to 0, then only we have to create one summary for the employee code column, say end. Now here two ways you could create summary. First easy way is that just take your column and that you just say summary sorry, summary dot create. You have to create footer summary here. Sorry. So you have to create footer item here as it is. One second. Just skipping I am here. So what we have to do, summary space, yeah, create. Now as you could see here in the create, we need to have the input value as a item, that is our column tcx custom grid table item. So just enter, and the current column we have to pass as a parameter. Just compile our code. Errors. Oh sorry, it's not a create columns, it's sorry, to this as control, yeah, compile now. And that footer alignment we have to make it properly. Before that you could say summary sorry, summary dot, as you could see, footer kind. So footer kind will be making as sk count. Just compile our code. It's giving error, it's saying undeclared identifier. So for that what we need to do here is we need to add one unit name as a cx custom data, and come to our place. Now press Ctrl F9. Yeah, it's compiling now. And footer alignment we have to say footer alignment horizontal, we have to say as right justified. So go to columns, and since it is left justified, just take it right, copying, and just close it. Yeah, this property we are assigning. Compiled, yeah, it's compiled right now. Now run our code. As you could see here, summary is not displaying. The issue is simple. Press F12 key. This view we went, and in options view, footer property we have to enable. So close this one. So here anyhow view related properties are applying here. So what we need to do here is that in the beginning so options view dot footer, the value expected is boolean, and that is nothing but either true or false. So just say true. Sorry, run once again. Yeah, as you could see here, it's coming. Now the same thing we would be applying here for remaining columns here. But before that I would like to show you one thing. Press F12 key and go to band place. If I say here employee details, now what happens before that, since this is I will be making form size like this time being, as you could see the entire grid is moving here. So what we would do, select the employee details, press F11 key. Here you could see fixed kind. Right now there is nothing, it's as it is. So just see the difference. I'm clicking here and pressing F11 key. If I say left, see this separation has come here, and as you could see now, yeah. So this is the main feature of banded table view. But this is the reason why banded table is used in such cases. Once again, if you go here, press F11 key and say right hand side. So once again it would come. Now tomorrow somebody doesn't want this either left or right, just make it as a none. So what we need to do here is that come once again to this band place, or before that you see still it is as it is now, even though we have taken off that property. It's a simple thing. Select the band, press F11 key, position, you have to make it as a 0, and column index it is 2, so make it as a 0. Go to here, it should be 1 and it should be 2. Yeah, come back and see. Yeah, you could see here. But what we would be doing, we would be keeping as it is. I shown you that setting because if somebody doesn't want, then how to overcome that things, just say here. Yeah, so the band number 1 we are making as a F11 key, sorry, select that band, sorry, select that band and press F11 key. So fixed kind we are making as a FK left. So same thing we would be doing for our band. So where we have created that band, so there only we would be assigning that value here. So the bands of 1, so sorry, fixed kind is equal to this. Yeah, control F9, it's coming right now. And for the remaining column here, as we seen, we would be assigning for the last column. As I told you that there are two ways we could create a summary. So one way we have seen here. So the same way we would be keeping for here also. Let it be as it is. So it would create a column and it would make a sum. But for your information, I would be showing you another way is that you could say data controller dot summary dot. So press F12 key here. Since this is a footer summary part and this is nothing but item, we know that column is nothing but item, so this is a footer summary item. This we have to create, then we have to link this column to respective column here, this footer summary item. Why? Because say for example tomorrow we would like to display our gross total income this place, so we don't how the grid would come to know, so it should be linked to which column. So one thing, we have to create this column footer summary item, then we have to link to respective column here. So how we could do summary here, it is just for information. Footer summary items we have to select here, dot, you have to say add. So now the footer summary item has been created. Now we have to link this, copy as it is, we have to link to the column. So as you could see, items, so items means index we have to take. Since we are creating first footer summary item here, as you could see here, first footer summary item, this is the second one. So we need to have one variable to know that how many footer summary item we have created. For every column we are not creating footer summary items, so column index we could not use here. So what we would be doing here is that adding one more integer variable here, I footer summary item. Yeah, so footer summary here, as you could item. Yeah, copy this. Sorry. So since we are creating here in this column footer summary, as you could see, we have created summary here, so we will initialize this variable with 0. Yeah, and the moment we are creating, we would be initializing with 1. Oh sorry, we could increment it. Yeah, now once it is created, by default it will be 0, here it would become 1, and here you have to increment whenever you are creating a footer summary item for the last column. So I would be writing here whatever the items, footer summary item dot, as you could see here, item link. So to which column you would like to link. So here I am linking, this is the column. Don't mistake here because this value would be different and this would be the different. Now since we have linked those column with that, and yeah, I think that's it only. Now if you run here, I would be commenting these two things. Footer summary count I'm keeping as it is, or comment this also. So what you could see here, footer summary items, copy as it is, and you could say as a kind, sorry, uh, 1 second. As sorry, we need to copy these things as it is, and we have to copy as kind. Yeah, so kind, you could say here sk count. mm, just compile, control F9. Yeah, there is no return issue. Now run the application. Yeah, as you could see here, yes, it has come now. So this is one way, but normally I would prefer that this is some you need to remember all the time. So best way is that you create here, and since it was coming to left hand side, that summary data, so here we have to just make sure it should come in left hand side. So property you have to assign. Once again, I'll be making sure here, remove this code. So summary dot mm, we have to take items. See here, alignment as you could make it. No, so alignment anyhow we need to work out on that, how to or summary dot you could see here. I think what we'll do, we will just delete this, and footer summary anyhow. Yeah, so just check it out once again. I think it may be on left hand side only. Yeah, we'll see this later. Means right now we are running with our short period of time, so just comment and just rearrange once again and run here. Click here. Yeah, as you could see here, count, but this is still is coming to the left hand side. What we need to do here is edit currency we have added here, so visit once again to our edit currency. Alignment is a right justify, so we need to yeah, just check it out, anything we have missed out. Yeah, because this edit currency we have added to the column, but for footer summary we have to make it ourselves. This edit currency is not assigned to our footer summary, so what we would be doing here, I think, yeah, footer alignment horizontal is right justify, we have to copy as it is and paste it here, compile. Yeah, run now. Yes, it's coming now. Some important properties we will see here. Click on the view, press F11 key. As you could see here, sorry, fixed band separate color. This is the right now, as you could see, it is in black color. So if I give here red color, yeah, as you could see, and fixed band separator width, we'll just make it a proper alignment here. If I say 5, as you could see, and if I say 10, yeah, as you could see the difference. So default properties 2, and make it this as a black by default. And as you could see here, the banded header hints, as you could see here, it is a true. If I go here, you could at least see this hint. Yeah, but press F11 key once again. But if I say false, you would not be able to see here. Yeah, so make it true. So these are the columns related property we have already seen in our previous section. So as I told you, in this section overview of quantum grid, so once again we'll see fastly. So band hiding and moving, so and band moving and resizing. If I say false, so none of the band you could move. As you could see here, you can't move the band, and you can't resize the band and move also anywhere. But if I click here, press F11 key, and if I say moving and sizing, so sizing, as you could see here, and moving is also possible, as you could see. Sorry, this is a main band. So salary band I could take it to once again. Alright, now it's not working. Press F11 key once again. Check it out. Sizing is true. Oh, sorry. Moving is true. Yeah, as you could see here, you could move band anywhere. Since we have, as you could see, yes, we can move it. So by default, let it be as it is. Click on that. Yes, this property we have seen in our previous session. Option data, option selection. Yeah. So I think remaining all properties we have seen here regarding our banded table view. So finally we would try to export this grid. So we would be having one button here at the end. We'll see, take button, and just keep it as it is. Expand button, just say here export to Excel, and since this file we need to save, so what we would be doing, take one dialog box, save dialog box, get the name of this dialog box. So what we would be doing here, if this dialog box is executed, then only do the rest of thing, then begin, end here. So I think one variable we need to have here, yes, file name of type string. Okay, you could initialize with empty string and just get the name of file, save dialog box, dot file name. Yeah, now you need to export, so you could write one export grid for to Excel. I think this is the name. Just press F1 key. Yeah, the function name same. This is the unit name. You need to copy. This is the unit name, and you need to sorry, provide here, so you would not get any compile time error. So we will see what are the parameters are required for that. As you could see here, no. So we'll go through the help here. Press F1 key. As you could see, a file name is required. So file name we have with the variable comma. Another one is a grid. It's not a grid view, so it's a grid. So since we are exporting this grid, so take this grid name, press F11 key, write it down here, then expand. Since we do not have master relationship, so no need to expand, so that property will make it as a false. Save all should be true, and native format should be true. Means if user wants to do some summation on our numeric column, so it should be as it is, else it would be string format only. So, and finally is the extension. So extension is nothing but XLS we have to provide here. So expand is equal to false, true, true. So what we would be doing here, false, true, true, and Excel, yes, we have to write here, close that one. And once this is already exported, we would like to open the file as it is. So get our shell execute, one Windows function is there. So in Delphi, since we are using that, so unit name we need to add here as a shell API. Yeah, so we'll see what is the syntax for this. shall execute. Close this. We'll see in Google. Shall execute in Delphi. Yeah, example we'll see. Now you could see this also. We just need to see what is the syntax of this function. So yeah, since we need in maximize, so copy this function as it is and just replace here. So application dot handle we will be writing here, open, and file name we have to provide as it is with the extension name. Sorry, here else it would not open. Dot xls. Yeah, compile now. Yeah, just run our code. Display data, export to Excel. I would say my Excel, and just say save. Close it. I think we have to see what has happened here. Yeah, it's not opening right now. We'll see the reason behind that. Control F2 you have to press and just say Excel. We are getting some error here. What we would be doing, we'll try once again here. First we will delete this file. Just see this, refresh once again and run now. It's in my Excel. I think some issues with their file. We'll try to, yeah, now it's opening automatically. I think there's issue with the system some. So as you could see, the grid has been exported properly. We'll try to create another export another name, say for example www. Save. Yeah, it's opening now. So the file name here you could see www. So I think these are the only things we wanted to share with you. I hope you would have enjoyed this session, and if there is any suggestion or any issue you people are having, so kindly mail me on this mail ID, and I would like to say thank you for all your patience and time. In next session we would be coming with the quantum grids, another great features. So till then, goodbye from Vishal.